Hello everyone, my name's Kanji. So welcome to the JLPT N4 Strategy Guide. So if you're here, that means you should know all the JLPT N5 things. So that means you should know 100 kanji, about 800 words. You should have basic listening skills, be able to pick up a few easy words in a conversation, and you should have been studying for about 150 hours. So if you've done that, then you're ready for the JLPT N4, which we're going to talk about today. Well, let's get started on the JLPT N4. So for this one, you're going to need 150 more kanji. You're going to need about 700 more words. Listening is basic, really basic. And you should have been studying for about 150 hours. So let's take a look at some of the books that I've been using. Now, it goes without saying, but you should know Hiragana and Katakana at this level. You need to know them before you try. I know it's very tempting to want to jump at the higher levels, but it's impossible without knowing them. You could be very lucky and get the right answer since it's multiple choice, but you would have to be... This is sort of lottery odds here if you don't know the answers. Well, anyway, let's get started. So, I have a few books here. I think I started off with kanji again. Now, I don't have the book like the N5 level. There's a few books you can get N4 and N5 together. So, it's in this same series. So, there's one called Kotoba, which is vocabulary. And there's one called Bunpo to yomu lenshu, so grammar and reading practice. So it's in the same series as this. It's called Kanji. If you can get that book, that's a really good book. Or there's many books on the market for kanji too. So just practice those kanji, write them out. Try and write a few every day if it helps you. As for learning kanji, go at your pace. I try and do at least a page or two a day. But if you feel comfortable doing more pages, and please do more pages, but make sure you look back over what you've done. It's very important that you try and see the kanji every day if possible, because that will help get it stuck in your memory and in your head, so that should really help out with the studying process. So putting kanji aside after you've got those covered, I have just like I showed you, the grammar and reading practice. Now this is quite a bulky book. It's a very bulky book, so it's got like some grammar points in there with some pictures. It's got the right way to use them, sometimes in the wrong way as well. It's got practice questions too, so you got to choose the right answer, JLPT test style. And then there's some reading as well, so you've got to... Wow, that's quite a lot. I didn't realize there was so much. It's got some reading articles, so the reading already gets a bit bigger than compared to the N5 tests. So this could be tricky, but just make sure you practice it as much as possible. Try and do as many reading practice questions, as many resources online, or you can get some of Amazon. Your options are unlimited. So yeah, that's it for the grammar and reading. Moving on. Vocabulary. Vocabulary, if you can get this down, it's going to make the reading a hell of a lot easier. And for kanji, quite a lot of the kanji will actually be in the words for your vocabulary, so that's going to help you out a lot. So, for vocabulary, the book's normally, this easy level, it gives you like a list of the words and the meaning in English too, or other languages too, so that's really good. You need the English really for to know what it is really until you're at a higher level where you can sort of understand what it is from a kanji. But yeah, just go through it. Do the questions. I didn't actually do so many questions in here. Wow, maybe I didn't need to. But yeah, if you're doing the other books too, then that's going to help out with your vocabulary as well. So don't worry too much. Lastly, I took another grammar book here. So this is a really good series, the Try series. So it starts off with the little caterpillar right at the bottom of the hill. and he works his way up in every book. So, yeah, that's basically how it works. You work your way up bit by bit up the hill, albeit the hill becomes a steep cliff by the end, in my opinion. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Gives you lots of questions, lots of exercises to practice your writing and to practice answering questions as well. You don't have to write any hiragana or katakana in the tests, which is quite interesting. So you need to practice those in your own time, of course. But yeah, after you have all those down, if you do have a listening book as well, you can pick up a listening book too. I didn't personally, but it can help. Oh, actually, just before that, I've got one more book I'll show you. This is Basic Vocabulary Book, 1,800 words. Now, this is much smaller than the other ones. It's still a bit bulky, but if you're commuting at work or you're on your break time, and you can just go through all the words. Now, it's a bit of a boring way to study for some people, but it's got the words categorized. If you can go through it, then it's going to really help you out so much with the reading skills. With your reading skills, and also for recognizing kanji too. So I do recommend getting one of these, but it depends on the way you study and how you feel comfortable studying too. Well, after you've got through all of that, then I'd recommend getting stuck into the JLPT N4 test book. So much like the N5 test, a few differences. It's a little trickier. Let me just have a look. It's been a while since I've been in these books. Yeah, you get some quite long reading passages. It's not as long as in the more advanced tests, but it can still be quite tricky. But if you've gotten through all that N4 stuff and you've spent enough time and made sure you've completed your books, then you should be in a pretty good position to pass. So that's it for the N4 level. Good luck, everyone. I'm going to be talking about the N3 next, so before we get onto that, please make sure you've gone through N5 and N4 for that. So good luck on test day, excuse me. Good luck on test day, guys. Sakanajin out. Goodbye.